you ready for a bedtime story? I might be able to tuck you in.
This is it. This is my last story time. Maybe I should do a bonus. Should I? Tell me something, please. Okay. I can do that. Okay. Thank you. That's why you're my favorite. Why are you back? No. I don't want to hear it. Always forced to do what I don't want to do. Fine. Well, that I can do. Okay. Now that he's away, please save me. I'm being forced to do this. You see the smile on my face? Oh, smile. I'm so happy. Sure, happiness. Sure. Happiness. 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 I am being held at gunpoint. This is my cry for help! I said, it's my balloon. It's my balloon. I said I will share. I'll make a trade. Give me your fucking heart. This balloon. Give me something and just give it a I require your heart. Everybody, yes? Grim here, with scary stories to tell in the dark. 3. We're gonna start with the red spot. While Ruth slept, a spider crawled across her face. It stopped for several minutes on her left cheek, then went on its way. "What is that red spot on my cheek?" she asked her mother the next morning. "It looks like a spider bite," her mother said. "It will go away. Don't scratch it." Soon the small red spot grew into a small red boil. "Look at it now," Ruth said. "It's getting bigger. It's sore." "That sometimes happens," her mother said. "It's coming to a head." In a few days, the boil was even larger. "Look at it now," Ruth said. "It hurts and it's ugly." "We'll have the doctor look at it," her mother said. "Maybe it's infected." But the doctor could not see Ruth until the next day. That night, Ruth took a hot bath. As she soaked herself, the boil burst. Out poured a swarm of tiny spiders from the eggs their mother had laid in her cheek. Oh, she was not happy. I bet I could make her laugh. Another one. Yes. Maybe I will read another story. I wonder what I will choose. What are you doing?
It's my goddamn pea tree. I do what I want to do.
Are you really peeing? Oh, shit.
I'm Hillbilly Hollow and welcome to...
I'm trying to read here.
I don't give a Kentucky Fried Fuck. I had to pee on my t-shirt.
And they wonder why I'm crazy.
Oh, you did.
Nah.
Let's do business. Welcome to my TED Talk.
This one is called The Wolf Girl. Travel northwest into the desert of Del Rio, Texas, and eventually you will come across Devil's River. In the 1830s, a trapper named John Dent and his wife Molly settled there. Settled where? Dry Creek runs into Devil's River. Dent was after beaver, which were plentiful there. He and Molly built a cabin from brush, and near it they put up an arbor to give them shade. Molly Dent became pregnant. When she was ready to have their child, John Dent raced on horseback to their nearest neighbors, several miles away. "My wife is having a baby," he said to the man and his wife. "Can you help us?" They agreed to come at once. As they got ready to leave, a violent storm came up and a bolt of lightning struck and killed John Dent. The man and his wife managed to find his cabin, but did not arrive until the next day. By then, Molly Dent was dead too. It happens. It looked as if she had given birth before she died, but the neighbors could not find the baby. Since there were wolf tracks all around, they decided the wolves had eaten it, then buried Molly Dent and left. They buried Molly Dent, not the wolves. A number of years after she died. A number of years after she died. That's the right way to say it. People began to tell a strange tale. Some swore it was a true story. Others said it could never have happened. The story begins in a small settlement a dozen miles from Molly Dent's grave. Early one morning, a pack of wolves raced in from the desert and killed some goats. Such attacks were not unusual in those days, but a boy thought he saw a naked young girl with long blonde hair running with the wolves. A year or two later, a woman came upon some wolves eating a goat they had just killed. Eating the goat with them, she claimed, was a naked young girl with long blonde hair. When the wolves and the girl saw her, they fled. The woman said that at first the girl ran on all fours. Then she stood and ran like a human, swiftly as the wolves. People started wondering if this wolf girl was Molly Dent's daughter. Had a mother wolf carried her off the day she was born and raised her with her pups? If so, by now she would be 10 or 11 years old. As the story is told, some men began to look for the girl. They searched along the riverbanks and in the desert and in its canyons. One day, it is said, they found her, walking in a canyon with a wolf at her side. When the wolf ran off, the girl hid in an opening in one of the canyon walls. When the men tried to capture her, she fought back, biting and scratching like an enraged animal. When they finally subdued her, she began screaming like a frightened young girl and howling like a frightened young wolf. Her captors bound her with rope and put her across a horse and took her to a small ranch house in the desert. They would turn her over to the sheriff the next day, they decided. They placed her in an empty room and untied her. Terror-stricken, she hid in the shadows. They left her and locked the door. Soon she was screaming and howling again. The men thought they would go mad listening to her, but at last she stopped. Ah! When night fell, the wolves began howling in the distance. People say that each time they stopped, the girl howled in reply. As the story goes, the wolf cries came from every direction and got closer and closer. Suddenly, as if a signal had been given, wolves attacked the horses, and other livestock. Ah! The men rushed into the darkness, firing their guns. High up in the wall, the room where they had left the girl, was a small window. A plank was nailed across it. She pulled the plank off, crawled through the window, and disappeared. Years passed with no word of the girl. No word of the girl. We shall get through this. Then one day, some men on horseback came around a bend in the Rio Grande, not far from Devil's River. They claimed they saw a young girl with long blonde hair feeding 2 wolf pups. When she saw the men, she snatched up the pups and ran into the brush. They rode after her, but she quickly left them behind. They searched and searched, but found no trace of her. That was the last we know of the wolf girl, and it is there, in the desert near the Rio Grande, that the story ends. This is a picture. Very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. We did it! Together! Except, I'm the one who made all mistakes. All the mistakes. I cannot speak tonight. I blame you guys. It's all your fault. Actually, your fault for fucking me up. Don't want to hear it. Goodbye. Send help! I'm just kidding. Where am I? What's next? Balloon not enough for you? Even not for long. Trade. What's the matter? One balloon not enough for you? It's gone for good. That's okay. I'll take yours instead. I said shoe. What's the matter? Buzz off. One balloon not enough for you? That's better. Fucking stupid! Ah! Thank you all. Now stay tuned and stay rotten. Ask me questions. I'll be seeing you.